Chase Young had 7.5 sacks last season. Obviously, the Saints signed him to help, improve their pass rush because at times last year it was severely lacking. Let's go through every single one of Chase Young's sacks from the 2023 season. Obviously, he started out the year playing for the Commanders before he was traded to the Niners. So let's get it. Play one here. Chase Young over on the left side of the screen going against Garrett Bowles, one of the better offensive tackles in the league. This time Bowles, this is just really not a good job by him. Opens up his hips immediately, something you really never want to see from an offensive tackle. And Chase Young really saw the play. This is more so a hustle sack. Chase Young gets a lot of flack for being lazy. Let's call it what it is, but definitely was not lazy on this play. And hopefully not, because this was the very first game of the year. But nonetheless, really nice job here on this first play from Chase Young. Chase Young with the dip under and rip through, and then just hustling to catch up with Russell Wilson for the sack. His next one was a half a sack, and it was also in the game against the Denver Broncos here. And again, really nice job going against Bowles. This time he gets him with sort of a stutter bull rush, right? Watch him stutter his feet right there, and then transition into a really nice bull rush. Nice low pad level underneath the tackle. Pushes Bowles all the way back into Russell Wilson's lap and ends up getting the half sack right here with his teammates. Next one on the season came against the Philadelphia Eagles. Going over there, or he's over there on your right side of your screen going against their left tackle, which he does the majority of the time. And this time he just gives the tackle the rope-a-dope, right? He kind of just gives him a little fake. Nice hands. Swipe the hands of the offensive tackle off of you. Get around the edge. Catch up to Jalen Hurts and get the sack. This next one here, he's at the top of your screen again. And I don't know what the Bears were trying to do here. Maybe a little swing screen down here to the running back. But Justin Fields decides not to throw it. Or maybe it was a fake screen draw. I don't know what the Bears were doing here. But you can see Justin Fields pumps it to the running back. Looks to pull it down, and Chase Young there at the top of the screen would have ran right into the quarterback, but Justin Field falls back, and I don't know. It's just a sloppy play all around from the Bears. It makes it hard to really even tell what's going on. But Chase Young, you can tell he reads it right away. He's coming around the edge, then he sees, Fields is going to cut this thing inside. He gets inside and was right there in front of Fields to make a nice play, but it kind of just got jumbled up, and Fields runs into his own offensive lineman there and bumps him into Chase Young, but eventually Chase Young does catch up to him and is credited with a half a sack on this play because, even though Fields pulls it down, he was still behind the line of scrimmage. His next couple came against the Giants here. This one's pretty self-explanatory. They leave him unblocked off the edge, maybe hoping he would run the quarterback by, but wasn't going for it. Catches up to Tyrod Taylor and gets credited with the sack. Next one here versus the Giants. Again, he's going against Justin Pugh over there playing left tackle. And Pugh is, first of all, old, and he is not a left tackle. He is a career guard, so this was a mismatch to begin with. I mean, I don't know even what kind of set this is Pugh is trying to take, but yeah, I mean, Chase Young basically just runs right by him, dips the shoulder, rips underneath, gets a sack. Next one here against the Jaguars. This is a really nice shot from Chase Young, redirecting once he sees Trevor Lawrence stepping up in the pocket. Initially, the tackle does a really nice job with a strike right there and is staying in front of Chase Young, staying square in front of him. But again, once Chase Young sees Trevor Lawrence step up in that pocket, he shoots inside and is able to get the sack. It's just a really nice job. Actually, really good hands too from Chase Young here. Check him out knocking the hands of the tackle off of him right there. Getting the hands off of him, and again, swimming over right there with the swim move to get inside and get the sack on Trevor Lawrence. His next sack came against the Buccaneers against a really good tackle in Tristan Wirfs here, and hopefully we see this a lot, right? Sacking Baker Mayfield. Tristan Wirfs, like I said, one of the best in the league. I'm not sure what he was going for here. It looks like he got too caught up with trying to help the guy on the inside there and just wasn't able to get to a spot fast enough, and Chase Young is able to beat him around the edge, dip right there, and get the sack on Baker Mayfield. Then this one here is just a sack where Kyler Murray runs out of bounds before he gets past the line of scrimmage. Can't find anybody open, and so right there, the guys closest to him are credited with the sack, which would be Chase Young and Fred Warner splitting it. His next sack came against the Ravens. He's going against Ronnie Stanley here, another really good tackle. And honestly, this is just Lamar Jackson with some sloppy pocket work here. This is, he walks Ronnie Stanley back a little bit, but this is considered a win for the offensive tackle in my book. But again, Lamar Jackson just kind of doesn't see his quick pass open. He's supposed to get this ball out pretty quick, like right now, and he doesn't pull the trigger on it, and he kind of just starts moving around in the pocket too much. And Chase Young is right there to meet him. So again, not a bad job to begin with, but the tackle kind of does all he can in this situation. The ball should have been out way before that, but nonetheless, it's a sack. And then his final sack on the season came in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And in my opinion, this was his most high quality sack of the entire year. This is a beautiful rep against Donovan Smith in the Super Bowl. Watch the timing of the hand swipe right here. Tackle shoots his hands now, and Chase Young times it perfectly. Get off of me, gets around the edge, and sacks Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Nick Bosa was there as well, but they gave Chase Young the full credit for this sack. Really nice job. But all in all, the Saints are going to need Chase Young to step up this season and, hopefully be the guy that he was supposed to be coming out of college, coming out of Ohio State, super high draft pick. Hasn't really lived up to it yet. Has dealt with a lot of injuries, a lot of, effort concerns, but nonetheless, he's going to get a huge opportunity with the Saints this year because, Cam Jordan, a guy who has had a Hall of Fame career, but is definitely not as productive as you would like him to be anymore. You got Peyton Turner on the roster who is in probably his final year with the Saints, and he has done nothing but be injured. Hopefully he can stay healthy as well, but it's just something you can't count on with him, right? Obviously, we have, Isaiah Foskey, who the Saints invested a second round pick in a couple years ago, who hasn't panned out, didn't look great in his rookie year, showed some flashes here and there, but, nonetheless hasn't really shown anything to say that he's going to be on the field a lot. You got Carl Granderson, who had a really, really good year last year and, got paid a hefty contract and deservedly so, right? He looked really good. But other than that, the Saints are going to need Chase Young to step up and be the guy to, put the pressure on the quarterback and to close out games for the Saints. He doesn't need to do it all, right? He just needs to show flashes and have some big sacks and some big moments because, he's not really going to be the every down guy. It's probably going to be Carl Granderson, and they're probably going to have a heavy rotation at that defensive end spot. The Saints have always done that, with, like I said, Granderson, Turner, Foskey, and now you add Chase Young to the mix. And then you got, Cam Jordan on the other side who will come out a lot this year, I assume. So, all in all, I'm really excited to see how Chase Young performs. If he can get back to anything close to the form that he was coming out of Ohio State, I think the Saints are going to be extremely happy.